And boosh! Hi guys, I'm Paul from Constrictors. So today, following on from last video, the one where it's titled Am I Setting a Bad Example, talking about if people like myself who are a little bit more in the public eye, as in very well known on Facebook, very well starting to get known on YouTube, if we're setting a bad example by cutting eggs before any at all are pipped. So today, following on from that, and I thought long and hard about this because there's some risk involved, but I am going to cut a clutch at day 56, and then I'm going to cut a second clutch when one or more is pipped, potentially two, and show you in this one video the difference. So if you watch this, if you're new to it and you watch this and this doesn't put you off cutting early, I don't really believe words will. If you can see the pros and cons and it doesn't put you off, then nothing will. So people doing videos about why not to cut early, or Facebook posts about why not to cut early, they're all words. This is going to be visual, and they say a picture means is more than 1,000 words, so a video's got to be more than 10,000, I guess. So this is going to be once again a little bit controversial, but I'm going to do it because potentially lots more people will wait to cut. Now, I find it difficult waiting, don't get me wrong. Don't think that I have this really relaxed attitude and it's easy for me to wait, because in some cases I've got quite a busy schedule, and some days I'm thinking please pip, I check them, they haven't pipped, I think oh god, tomorrow I've got so much on. But I can feel eggs, I can tell when they separate if they're close to being ready. Now only the snake really knows when it is ready, so no breeder can say I know categorically it's ready, because it is individual on each egg. Some babies will pip on Monday, some babies will pip Monday night, then some on Tuesday, some even Tuesday night, and even some on Wednesday. You can get a couple of days spread. So I've checked this clutch. It is a big clutch for me, not big as in numbers, but big as in the potential outcomes. But I'm going to do this as a double video. So today is going to be cutting at day 56, and then the second half, or the third half, because this will be the very beginning of the video, will be cutting after after potentially two is pipped. Now, when I say potentially, if I check them, say on a Monday and one's pipped, I check them later Monday night and then it's still one pipped, I'm not going to cut, I'm going to wait till Tuesday. Over Monday night to Tuesday morning, we could have 2, 3, 4, all of them pip, you know. So basically it's going to be a minimum of 2 pipping, could be more. So I'm going to show you, and I'm going to talk about the difference and what we're going to see. So if you watch this and it doesn't put you off cutting early, I don't think anything will. Hopefully, obviously, hopefully, this doesn't go wrong, babies don't die, but I'm knowledgeable enough about doing this that I don't think there's a big risk involved. Everything is a risk, so I'm not going to say there's no risk, but I really feel this will add a lot of value to the industry. So we'll take a closer look at this clutch. Like I say, it's day 56, so I'm doing it what I class as 2 days early. Typically I'd wait till day 58, and then the second one is when 2 or more's pipped. Let's check it out. Boosh! Hey guys, so this is clutch number 6 and this is on day 56. So this is the clutch we're going to say we're cutting early, and then the next clutch we're going to wait till 2 pips. Now these these eggs are sweating the humidity out. You can see the humidity all over the sides, you can see the humidity all over the top. If I switch that around, you know, you can see the sort of like, it almost looks clouded, frosted out. You can see that these eggs are now sweating their humidity out. Now, if these eggs didn't separate easily, like this, so easily, I wouldn't be cutting them at all. The eggs, when they're getting ready to start to pip, do start to separate. So you can see it takes, actually that one's a little bit, oh no, it's not. It was just bad angle. So that, I'm being super gentle. Now also, when you feel the egg, I can feel the baby quite easily. Let's do it with another one. You can feel the weight, you can feel the baby inside. Now this is obviously the one we're cutting early, and it's a pastel, I had to think then, a pastel het clown to a pastel spot nose clown. I'm just going to double check that. yeah, pastel het clown to a pastel spot nose clown. It was laid on June the 26th, 2018. So this one we're cutting early. The next one will be a yellow belly pied to a pastel NG pinstripe pied, but also a superfly pied, which we're going to let at least 2 babies pip. Now, when I feel the eggs, like I said, they are separating, they are actually a little bit firmer, well, some are, than I expected, but I don't think I'm risking out here, so we're going to go ahead and cut them. Now, I'm not going to cut massive sunroofs in them because they are only on day 56. Well, I don't typically cut big sunroofs anyway. Ones that I've pipped, you absolutely can, because they are obviously on their way out. Now, this is damp, but it's not soaking wet. The reason I haven't dampened it down even more is because the eggs are obviously sweating the moisture out, so this tub's going to build a bit more humidity anyway. So we'll start with this egg. So you can see there's still quite a lot of fluid in these. Now, I'm doing this for educational purposes, so if someone's kind of screaming at the camera, don't do it, don't cut it, just remember I'm doing this for the right reasons, because I'm trying to help the industry. My last video got a ton, an absolute ton of good feedback, and I actually expected a bit of backlash from it, so thanks for that, and I really appreciate it. It seems a lot of you have taken some good information from that, hence why I'm doing this, what I kind of call phase 2. So right off the bat, and you can see these eggs are not spewing with blood because they are very close to pipping. Now right off the bat, I believe we have got a pastel spot nose het for clown, quite possibly super pastel. I will have to check. It's got a lot of blushing. The monitor's now woken up, unfortunately, so she's going to make a whole bunch of sound while this video's going on. When I come in room, they're kind of laid, chilling, basking and stuff. When I've been in room for a little while, they kind of come alive and just make a ton of noise. So now on this one, so this video, I have to stress, is going to be about obviously what happens. So we can see a little bit of blood here, that's from the veins on the wall of the egg, and it obviously is also about what I hatch. So I am going to point out the negatives. So hitting blood veins is a negative. It's not the end of the world, and it's not going to harm the baby, but it's not ideal. So because I can't see the head, it's kind of quite difficult to tell if that's a clown combination or that could be the super pastel het. I want to say it's clown because of the interesting pattern, but I'm not convinced. So that could be the super pastel spot nose 100% het for clown. Now I did prep a little bit of tissue because I'm going to neaten the eggs up a little bit, and I'm going to have to kind of try and work a little bit fast because obviously I've done the talking part, what was about 3 minutes, then there's this part, and then obviously there's the final part, which is the pie clutch, which obviously we're going to let pip. And now I'm rushing, I'm making silly mistakes, I'm going to calm back down and concentrate. So we have hit our first, I say our, oh that's amazing, it's either an absolute A-grade pastel clown or it's pastel spot nose. I will stick my neck out and say it's pastel spot nose clown. So I had a ton of people wanting the last pastel spot nose clown I hatched, and I did say I've got more eggs incubating that could obviously yield the same results. So once again I'm going to clean the eggs up a little bit because let's face it, it doesn't look great. So I'm pretty convinced that's a pastel spot nose clown, so hopefully a female. I might actually keep it if it's a female. Now this egg is a little bit more spongy than you typically feel on some eggs, so just going to check before I do a really big cut. Yep, the baby's fine. there's still a lot of fluid in them. That's why it's very, very... So, well, that's very, very pale. A little bit, and again, we've hit a vein on the egg wall. So, just going to wipe that away. So, you can see, you know, right off the bat, I'm not talking about the baby, hitting veins, seeing blood, it's not necessarily the way to do it. Now I am actually starting to regret this already. I'm kind of thinking I should just wait. It's good to try and help everybody out and do sort of educational videos, but on the same side, I kind of going against what I'm about. I don't typically cut early. Day 56 is completely safe. It's, you know, in some people's book it won't be classed as early, but it is early for me. Wow, that looks absolutely stunning. Oh wow. I'm not gonna, that looks, I don't know if you can see it because I'm not gonna, like I say, cut massive sunrows, but look at that. That looks like a reduced pastel spot nose clown. It looks very leopardy, but I don't think my Superfly clown went to her. But every baby has been pastel so far, so I'm either getting good odds on the pastel side of things, or, oops, or I did put the Superfly in. So, because of a little bit of blood on the scissors, I've just cleaned that off. I'm sure I didn't. I'll have to check my records, but I'm sure I never put my Superfly. It wouldn't be a bad thing if I did and I had a split clutch. That would be amazing. Split clutches can really obviously work in someone's favour. Oh my god. Another, that's gotta be pastel spot nose clown. Just another stunning baby. The colours are so bright, so vibrant, just beautiful colours. But you can see, I'm going to try and tilt this egg. You see all the veins on the egg. So they're what the babies would absorb up before they go on to pip. So people would say this clutch is ready, but you can see there's still a lot of stuff the babies are going to absorb up before they go on to start pipping. But now babies do pip when there is some veins left, because I've seen on some people's videos, and it's happened once or twice in my breeding sort of career, where babies have actually pipped and hit a vein or two and there's blood, because I've seen it and got a little bit worried something bad has happened, but it's just the veins on the wall of the eggs that they'd hit. So it does happen. Now that's a super pastel, possibly spot nose, obviously 100% het clown. I hope you can see that. So it's going to be a great baby for some of my friends that are looking for non-visuals. It's nice when you do visual to visual, because you obviously hit all visuals, but when you do het to visual and the odds are really go in your favour, it's kind of even more exciting. So I'm not against, obviously I'm not against using hets, but I mean, it does make it fun. But then on the flip side, if it doesn't go in your favour, it's gutting. Now that's, I want to say just pastel het, but it looks too blushed out, looks too funky. So maybe that's pastel spot nose het. Could be a pastel het, just a really nice one. Big baby that as well. The egg's very large. If you look at the size of that egg compared to that egg, it's a big old egg. So last one. So I'm really happy with the results so far. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 definite visuals. Statistically, I think we're about there either way. I'd like one more, obviously, but so that's pastel. I don't want to say super pastel hat clown. I can't really tell if the spot knows. So guys, obviously when this clutch all comes out I'll do another video, but the second half of this video, which we're going to cut to in a couple of seconds, is going to be a clutch that's pipped. So hang about, and I want you to really chime in on how these eggs looking, how big of holes and, well, slits I've cut, the bit of blood we're seeing. This is all in one way or another negative, so please don't give me any backlash. I'm trying to help the industry here. So we'll cut to the clutch that's pipped now, and let's look at the difference. Cheers. It's day 2 after cutting the eggs yesterday. As you can see, none of them are even attempting to come out. When you look at the eggs, when you look at the snakes, you're still no better off in knowing what's in them, unless obviously they've turned themselves the right way around. So at this stage, for someone new to breeding snakes, this is the stage that you're going to potentially stress the snakes, because you're going to be peeking in, trying to work out what's going on. But like I say, as you can see, they're all still well and truly in the eggs and trying to absorb the yolk and obviously the veins that are still in there. So I will do another video tomorrow and show you the difference as we go along. Cheers. Hey guys, so this is 2 days after I cut. So we had day 1 cut, day 2 check, and this is day 3 check once again. Now these two look, they've got the heads out. Also this has got its head out a little bit, but the eggs, and that one, but the eggs, if you can see, and I don't want to disturb them too much, still got a lot of veins. You can see the yolk sac that it needs to absorb up before it leaves the egg. These snakes are not ready. So even though it was day 56, today would be day 58, so a day that I would potentially cut. Now these do not look ready to come out, so this is why, if you possibly can, hold off from at least 2 to 3 pip. Right guys, so this is the 4th day, and to my surprise 2 have come out, but to my further surprise no more have come out. So we can see, fortunately, that snake absorbed all its yolk. This one's, I'm not going to check that one, but I'm sure it has. So 4 days and they're still in the eggs. So this is the importance of not cutting early if you really can avoid it. It's something I'm going to try not to do from now on for this very reason. So like I'll keep doing the updates, and hopefully these will be out very soon. Right guys, so here we are on the final stage of this video. So as promised, I said I'd let these ones pip and then cut them. So if you've watched this through and not skipped any stages, you will see the difference in at least letting some of them pip. In this case, absolutely every single one of them, well, all 5 of them have pipped. So you're going to see the difference in cutting several days early to cutting when these babies are ready. So I would recommend everyone let at least 1 or more babies pip before going ahead and cutting. Now I'll for once I'm going to let just because these are kind of ready and I am working in a bit of a tight squeeze, I'm going to go ahead and cut these, but I'm not going to remove the egg crate like I have in all the past videos of 2018. So this clutch was a yellow belly pied female to a pastel enchy pinstripe pied male, and also a superfly pied male. I'm actually hoping the pastel enchy pinstripe pied got the clutch, because I'm hoping for some multi-combo yellow belly pied females to hold back. Now as you can see, this is a little boo bag. It's such a high white one, I'm struggling to see any pattern on this one at all. as you can see, because these babies have pipped, I can cut these big windows and to see what's inside, so it gives me a better understanding of what's inside. And there's no blood, no veins, no nothing. Now that just looks like quite a small pastel pied. I don't think it's a normal pied, so not the best start, but that is only egg number 1. Now these 4 eggs are really big. You can see they are literally the full, well actually, if I put my hand straight, they are actually bigger than my hand is wide. I've never hatched twins. I'd love to hatch them, especially on a pied combo. Now this one has got some veins left, nowhere near as many as the other clutches. I actually don't have a clue what that is. I think it could be a pastel fire pied. Looks really quite orange though. It's got amazing patterns there. Hope you can make that out. Is it a yellow belly? Is it a yellow belly? Is it a pastel yellow belly? Sorry. Looks really nice. I might take a little. Actually, I'm going to take a look. Oh, that pattern's just unreal. Look at that. My hands are clean, as always. I wash them. That is absolutely amazing. Hope that's a female, because that one can stay with me. It's when I put the scissors in, it's actually pushing against. These babies are so big, they're popping out. And try and get under there. There we go. Oh wow, that looks cool. So once again, because now I know who the father is, oh, well, on this egg, because these babies are ready, I can cut that massive sunroof, and I risk not hurting the baby, not coming out early, anything like that. So that one looks to be, I think, a yellow belly pinstripe pied. That's absolutely lovely. Oh god, I hope it's a female. So maybe, yeah, I'm going to say maybe the Superfly didn't get the clutch. Now I'm just going to start a new cut on this one, just because that baby's, its neck is actually really tight. So what I do in this case is I go all the way towards it, but then I stop a little bit early and I rip the egg, so the scissors don't go near the baby snake. Oh wow, this looks even nicer. Now as you can see, there is still veins, but there's almost no amount of blood. Now if I hadn't have cut this clutch, and if you are someone who's contemplating letting them all pip naturally and letting them go on to hatch naturally, absolutely do it. Don't think you have to cut, because you most certainly don't. It's just people like myself like to safeguard and just know that there's no chance the baby can get stuck. Now that baby's head was very tight, so you could argue, you know, that one thing could lead to another, but let's face it, I'm sure it would have got out just fine if I had left it. I mean, wow, that looks the patterns here, that is the pattern there is just amazing. Just gonna rub this away. Look at that. So maybe that's the, I was going to say pastel enchy yellow belly, but I'm not sure, because with yellow belly it brings a ton, an absolute ton of pattern. But I'm loving this clutch. Look at the variation in colours. Now obviously once they're out I'll do a update, but I'm sure you guys knew that anyway. It's bursting out egg. Today we've been to Yorkshire Wildlife Park because it was my son's 2nd birthday, my son Kai. We've had a lovely day, and I just got back and I thought I have to come check the snakes, make sure this clutch is fine, and make sure obviously all snakes fine. I haven't checked any clutches yet because I saw this. Wow. If all these are female, I'm just going to keep a lot of them. Now you can see that baby's got its head in between its around its tail, so I was just going to prompt it to come out. Look at the head on that. Look at that. It's jet black and then it blushes out in centre, but it has a jet black border, and then that yellow, that stunning yellow border again coming down. Now if you chime in on a lot of the pastel combinations I hatch, you'll see that the ones that are all homegrown and kind of bred inside of urban constrictors, so generation from generation basically, you'll see a lot of my snakes have the Y, because the father of this is homegrown, because I bought a really beautiful lemon pastel, it was marked up as, and it had the Y, and all the babies have gone on to, well, not all, I'd say 99% of the babies have gone on to have that Y. Look at that. Look at how the pattern, this is why I love pieds. Look at how the pattern just goes from kind of uniform to just all kind of speckled out. I'm not going to mess with this baby too much because it's unfair to really muck with them as much as I'd like to show you more. But yeah, I'm so incredibly happy with this clutch. Now, casting your mind back to earlier on in this video, and I know this video will end up being probably 30 minutes long, but you could probably hear by my voice dropping, I was a little bit nervous about cutting it, even though it was just a couple of days. There was a lot of blood, a lot of goo, and if you've watched my last video, you've actually seen the outcome of that clutch. A tremendous outcome. Not that if the snakes wasn't, you know, expensive or rare or whatever you want to call them, not that I'd not care, because even if I was hatching normals I'd care. I don't want to harm a baby, but if you're planning on cutting eggs, guys, try your hardest to let a couple pip naturally, and then if you want to go on to cut, do it. But this is how I'm going to do all future cutting vids, because now we get to have a really good look. We can see that I've hatched some tremendously, I don't know what that brown is, but tremendously beautiful babies. I just wanted to show you that pattern. That is just crazy. I can't wait for these to leave the eggs. So I'll stop messing with them now. Let them absorb the final part of the yolk. Let them come out of their own accord. I will remove the egg crate and just tidy this box up a little bit after the video goes off, but it's gone on too long, so I'm not going to do it now. So yeah, and once they're out, guys, I'll do an update video. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it around, just to add awareness to a lot of the newcomers that are coming into the hobby. I'd hate for you guys to jump the gun, cut on day 54, 55, whatever, and end up injuring the snakes or running into problems, because it will dent your confidence. It's not good for the snake, it's not good for you, it's not good for anything. So I've done this video for educational purposes. I hope it comes across in the right way, and I hope it is of use to a lot of you. I know a lot of people on this channel are already got years under the belt, but there is newcomers. So fingers crossed you've learned something. Like I say, drop a like, please like it and share it around if you will. Thanks guys, I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.